Everyone, it's Fever. In today's video, we're going to be exploring a secret Minecraft 1.17 dungeon that honestly I didn't know existed, and yeah, we're just going to find out, but let's start out with a little bit of context on what was going on this day. The day started out like any other, where I decided to go out and explore the world. I just simply went around my chest and looked and saw what I had absolutely nothing, and realized I needed some wood. But my building style kind of implies dark oak and spruce, so I had to go to the nearest forest. Once I made it inside the spruce forest, I was just kind of looking around for a village or anything, but I soon came across something in the distance that confused me. There was 3 deep slate pillars just kind of sitting around, along with a ton of moss and stuff, and I noticed inside that there was a little waterfall. When I went to go investigate, I saw a little doorway and a lot of just hanging roots and 1.17 kind of items, so clearly, by the deep slate and everything else, I knew this was something from 1.17. But of course, you know me, I gotta be a little bit adventurous here, and I decided to go into the little doorway. I looked around at first to make sure there was no other like entrances or anything, and then I went in. Once I entered, of course, there was these 4 soul sand like just in each corner, and only one of them wasn't lit, but I didn't have a flint and steel at the time, so I really didn't decide to light it or anything. I then proceeded to go down into this front room here, which had just 2 cases of water. It looked like there was probably meant to be mobs or something in there, but honestly, I'm not too sure. But there was, of course, a brewing stand, and there was a poppy, and of course, a cornflower, and a jukebox on either side. But once I head down into this new little area down here, there was an ores of plenty, and like all of the things, like in all of these little just areas, it looked like a treasure room or something. And these 2 lapises at the end looked like doorways, but at the time I didn't feel like doing anything about it. I was more just distracted by the loot that I saw. And then of course there was this strange symbol on the wall that I just didn't understand in the slightest, especially since part of it was moved over and not centered. And I just didn't feel like messing with that at the time. So of course, I noticed earlier when I was looking at the loot that there was a little open area back here, and so I went down there to see what was in this little crypt area, you could say. There doesn't really seem to be much down here. I guess this is just kind of one of those like pointless staircases that they do occasionally. Anyways, oh, it seems I have come across the Ender Dragon.